Yo, 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 you tuning into the Notion Podcast, Outlawed Opinions, and it is your boy, Dizzy D Spill. Um, for those that I don't even know how you couldn't know at this point, um, Charlie Kirk obviously was assassinated yesterday. And it has caused a lot of conversation on the internet and social media. It's all we already know left wing and right wing has always been divided, and we always know or knew that there's been this constant back and forth between racism and classism and all of these things. So I try not to go too much into politics and political views and things of that nature because if you don't know, left wing, right wing, it's the same bird to me. Okay. Democrats, Republicans, they benefit the most the higher you are on the the ladder, I'll say. My thing that has bothered me um as far as this whole scenario was I actually have the video. I seen the footage of this man's life being taken from him, and it's very disturbing. It's very disturbing, and the reason why it's so disturbing is because it was graphic. That man's family, if I'm not mistaken, that man's family was present, and if you really think about it, it counts as a school shooting. People keep saying it's an assassination, but it's also a school shooting. It happened at a school. And not to mention, because of this situation, it actually overshadowed a school shooting that happened in Colorado, which is also very unfortunate. My thing that is really bothering me about this situation is how people are acting. People keep talking about have empathy. There's not enough empathy. People are evil. Social media is evil, if you ask me. But I was not a huge fan of Charlie Kirk, and I did not agree with a lot of his views. However, that man is still a human being. That man, or was a human being, that man had a wife and had two children. And that family, and not to mention the rest of his family, have now witnessed some serious trauma. And it's tough to see on social media people mocking it and people laughing at it because of the things that people show empathy to. Now, I've seen content creators and people saying, have more empathy. And to me, I think there's something psychologically wrong with a lot of people that use social media. And the reason why I feel this way is because, or I'm sorry, I believe this is because when somebody passes away, it's a group of people that think it's funny and that think it's right. And I'm not a fan of that. And a lot of people think it's right because of their reputation or because of choices they've made in their life and their career because they've spent a lot of their life in front of a camera. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with people that are not considered uh, murderers or people that take lives to deserve for their life to be taken. All right. Now, I'm going to get into this. Uh, Amanda Seals. I'm not a huge fan of Amanda Seals. She's all over the place. I did see a couple. I think she just recently did a video where it was like her versus uh, 20 black conservatives, whatever the case it was. And I agreed with some of her talking points. And that's the thing about me. I can agree with people that I don't like if they're speaking something that I believe is true, or you know what I mean? I don't just disregard what a person says because I don't like their views, nor do I wish for them to not live anymore because I don't like their views. That's just me. I'm extremely pro black, but I don't believe in taking somebody's life or somebody's life not being here because they don't care about mine. As long as you don't harm me and mine, we don't have an issue. I don't care about people's point of view and think that they shouldn't be here because of their point of view. Now, with that being said, Amanda Seals decided to take the internet and insert herself into the situation. I don't know if people were sending her videos, but this is what she had to say, and we'll get into it.
can't have empathy for someone like Charlie Kirk. First of all, Charlie Kirk don't believe in empathy. He said it's a bad thing. He said it's some new age made up shit.
That is true. I did see that video.
He also said people got to be sacrificed in order to protect guns. If he was saying that
too,
while fighting for reparations, I may have a little bit of empathy. But this white on white violence, he died? Damn, B. Life comes at you fast.
So you could clearly tell in the video there's, she's kind of mocking the situation. I'm guessing this was alive. And I have a couple other clips. But to me, I just think, as far as, let me speak to the black people for a minute. Now, it is fair to say that there has been occasions where we've seen people that are white make fun of people that have passed away. And what I will say is that it does disgust me. Yeah, it's completely disgusting. I mainly see this on Facebook. When somebody black that has passed away on Facebook, I do check the reactions. And when I see a lot of laughing emojis, I see a lot of people that don't look like me, in particular, as far as race, laughing at the situation. Now, there's been some controversy around George Floyd passing away and people saying that it was a drug overdose and he was resisting. If you look at this photo right here, his hands behind his back, knee on neck. And I don't really know how you can resist at that point. And, that's a pretty significant part of the body where you need to breathe. And so, there was a lot of laughing. I mean, even the Love Island show. My wife watches Love Island, and one of the black girls on Love Island had her face plastered on George Floyd's face on this similar photo, and somebody she was beefing with had their face put on the officer's face. George Floyd has been gone for over 5 years, and people still make jokes and references about George Floyd. Now, why do I bring George Floyd up? Well, I bring George Floyd up because of the fact that there was a conversation with Charlie Kirk regarding George Floyd when he would do his tours at campuses.
A clip somewhere that you were trying to get the officer who murdered George Floyd pardoned, and I just want to know what your reasoning was about that.
Well, George Floyd didn't die because of the police officer. He died largely because of a drug overdose.
But he had his knee on his neck. And we all saw the video.
But the knee on the neck is actually an approved police technique that police departments taught Derek Chauvin to use. Do you know that George Floyd was saying, "I couldn't breathe," well before that restraining technique? And
so why'd they use the technique if he already couldn't breathe?
Well, because he was actually resisting arrest, and they had to restrain him. And they restrained him in a way that they were taught to do, which is the knee on the neck technique.
Okay, so when does the technique end? Like when they die? Like he said he couldn't breathe.
No, I mean the technique ends when the individual stops resisting arrest. His cause of death was not asphyxiation; it was drug overdose. He had
that was a part of it. Like he also had a heart thing, and he was on drugs. But he wouldn't have just died if he was standing there. Like they had his.
Well, actually, there's an argument to be made. According to the medical examiner, he was drug overdosing in real time. That it wasn't because of the police officer, Derek Chauvin, that put his knee on the neck. And they were taught to do that. According to the Hennepin County Police Department, they teach that as an approved restraint technique. And by the way, this is just a broader point. Our whole country blew up because of this incident, and it was largely based on a lie. Largely based on a lie. We were all
what was the lie?
The lie is that there was a white police officer that went after a black person just because he was black, and it just wasn't true. He was resisting arrest.
Okay, but he killed him. That doesn't.
Well, again, the county medical examiner disagrees. The county medical examiner in the original report.
So then why did he get sentenced?
Exactly. That's a good question.
I'm saying,
it's because it was largely a show trial where actually they were not allowed to submit evidence.
Trial?
A show trial. A show trial is an example.
All right, that's pretty much the gist of it, and it's those type of responses and viewpoints that can be triggering. A lot of people wanted to label Charlie Kirk as a rage baiter, and they would, they felt like he, said a lot of things to trigger people. I'm gonna be honest. It really doesn't matter to me because we are responsible for our emotions. That man lost his life. We don't know 100% why. We already have people. I mean, it ain't even been 48 hours, and we have people talking about the fact that it's a leftist did it, a left wing person did it, and then you have some people that are on TikTok and online believing and saying and perpetuating that it could have been an inside job. Every scenario where a high profile person passes away, it's always they were targeted, and it's always an inside job. In this case with Charlie Kirk, it was definitely targeted. We just don't know who it came from and why. We're just speculating because people are emotional. Again, I didn't agree. Even that video, I didn't agree with what he said. There were some contradictions in what he said, but do I feel that man deserves to lose his life? No. Just like George Floyd. George Floyd had a checkered past. He had a terrible past, but him passing away the day that he did, he didn't deserve to lose his life in that instance. That's number one. And then number two, the aftermath of people laughing at him, making fun of him, and saying that he's a criminal when he still has a daughter out there, he still has family out there, friends out there. Nobody can tell me how. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't say nobody. Tell me in the comments, how is George Floyd living his life at that point when he was passing away? Besides the insinuation that he was on drugs when he left, when he left here, when he lost his life. I would love to hear that because that doesn't get talked about enough. But just to add more context, I just believe that we live in a society where people are just evil and people can be evil behind their phone and social media. I don't agree with people making fun of this man passing away, just like I don't agree with people making fun of George Floyd passing away. If you guys don't like, for those that don't like George Floyd, just don't speak on George Floyd. Just don't leave a comment about George Floyd. And if you choose to do that and you choose to make fun of that man, but you support Charlie Kirk, then you're going to have to deal with the people that are giving the same energy towards him like you gave the same energy towards George Floyd and many other people. I'll even go for it on a crazier level. Kobe Bryant. When Kobe Bryant passed away, I seen a lot of people talking about he deserved it because of Colorado. Not considering the fact that that man lost his life and his daughter lost her life, and not just them, but the her teammates and their parents were on that helicopter. So when people make fun of people losing their lives, I think that's evil. I've heard content creators black content creators say how hateful and how evil black people can be. And I just honestly feel like those people are pandering. But I just think a lot of people are evil. I think a lot of white people are evil. I think there's a lot of black people that are evil. I think in all cultures we have evil and we have racism. Now, my call to action isn't to say you need to do this and you need to do that and everybody. My simple statement with all of this information is this: if you get online and you agree with certain people passing away, when somebody that you care about, that's on a high profile level or low, pass away, and they give the same energy that you were given for someone else, you have to eat that. You don't get to call for empathy. This is why you don't play with lives and you don't play with death. That's why. Because there's a lot of people out there that cared about Charlie Kirk. Despite what I may think or what anybody thinks, there's people out there that agreed with him and that cared about him. But there were also people that cared about Kobe Bryant. There were also people that cared about George Floyd. There were also, and like I said, there were also people that cared about Charlie Kirk. And so we have to be mindful of the things that we say that can affect the people that are here still supporting those that they've lost. That's just simply my take. Y'all can let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I don't really think Amanda Seales really should be opening her mouth. I think black people, when we see someone that we feel is racist or biased, or you don't like them because you're Democrat and they're Republican, I don't think it's the time or the opportunity to start making fun of people or laughing at people or say, oh, what goes around comes around. because when it happens to us, and it does hurt us when it happens to us, we have an outcry, and I really think when things like this happen, we should continue to focus on ourselves and be the best version of ourselves and allow those that care about that person and cared about that person grieve. Now, I know some of my brothers and sisters are going to sit up there and say, "Well, nah, they don't do that for us." Okay, well then I'll tell you what. I'll give you some negative advice. Go find the people that was making fun of the black folks that passed away, that care about Charlie Kirk. Go give them that energy. Don't give it to his family. Don't give it to his friends. Go give it to the people that are a supporter of him, just like you were a supporter of the people that you've seen being mocked. Y'all go at each other. If y'all want to self-destruct, y'all do that. But the videos that I see online, I think are very, very, very insensitive. I really do. I've lost a lot of people in my family just during COVID and some because of COVID. You know what I mean? And I thank God that there wasn't people making a mockery of the way that they went or what happened to them. It's disgusting. People, for those that believe in God, like to believe in God, but don't really practice, spirituality or going to church and stuff like that, the ultimate price you pay for sin is passing away. So why are y'all still going in? That means anything you've ever done wrong in your life, when you leave this earth, that is the debt paid in full for the things you did while you were living, regardless of who you are, how good you were, how bad you were. That is the transaction. So why are you tapping on taxes? That's just my take. Black folks, do a little bit better. But those of you that did mock people that others cared about, just like you cared about Charlie Kirk, you got to eat that too. When you make fun of people that are no longer here and then you grieve over people that are no longer here, you got to eat that. So make better decisions and do better. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section on Thoughts of Dizzy right here on the Epic Lounge Network. I want to read the comments. I want to see what you guys have to say. I'll tap in with you guys later. Until next time, peace.